what is Viva?
Yeah, so Viva is again a all industry solution. You asked about Encino, right? So Encino is basically for commercial lending, right? They are
Yeah.
a specialized product for commercial lending and very successful. I mean, they have, I mean, what I have seen that, if you're using Encino, kind of 90% you can, whatever, functionality it has to offer, 90% can be achieved out of the box. So they're very successful in commercial lending space. A lot of financial, companies are using Encino. Now, Viva is more for life science, pharma domain, and they have again a few products. I'm aware of a product called Viva CRM. So Viva CRM basically, my experience has been, I mean, we used it for one of the company for basically order management. So basically, they gives you application on which you can access on iPad, and their sales rep basically use that for taking orders when they visit pharmacy, hospitals, right, doctors. So they use it for basically taking orders and also for sample management. The sample that they distribute, that is also managed through this application. So
Okay.
yeah, that's Viva. Viva again is very successful one in life science and pharma domain. They have few more products, Viva CRM, then there is also Viva. Yeah, there are one or two more products. But
Right.
again, yeah, again industry specific. They are in pharma and life science. Encino is completely in commercial lending, and Velocity is I mean, Velocity is now history, but they had 4 or 5 different industry that they focused on. So today, if you go to this the URL that I have listed, right, industries, right, you will see all these industries. You can go and read about this industry, and this list is ever expanding, right? I mean, every year you will see, some or the other addition, right? So I mean, Salesforce, right, it's evolving very fast. So that's about Salesforce industry. So
MuleSoft integration helps in what? Under platform tools and capabilities, you've got MuleSoft integration.
So MuleSoft, you will have some middle layer for integration, right? I mean, in any of your application, right? Maybe it could be FPG, or it could be maybe Informatica Cloud. Something you will have to see. Basically, when you talk about integration, right? It could be two approach. It could be a point-to-point integration, right? Which is not a good approach. And second one is having a ESB layer in between, right?
Like an ETL kind of a middleware, you're saying.
See, ESB, ETL is one thing. ETL basically, so it takes care of transformation as well. But basically, see, I mean, the idea is to avoid point-to-point integration. You understand point to point, right? So you are basically, say you have a legacy system, you have, say, Salesforce, your KYC application. Now, if you need integration between these two applications, you can very much build a point to point integration where, say, if it is, say, outbound integration from Salesforce, on the legacy side you will have an API built. You will call that API, and whatever you want to perform, you can perform. All the logic will remain on the either on client side or on the server side, right? So that's point-to-point integration. Now, if you see this point-to-point integration, it's highly tightly coupled integration, right? It's tightly coupled between two applications. Now, suppose there is another application which wants to use the integration, right? A lot of things will have to be duplicated, right? Whatever you are doing today on the KYC application, that other application will also have to basically duplicate the thing, right? Like, say you are calling that API, then doing some logic you have built on the client side, some logic you have built on the server side. So basically, any change that you have to bring into this integration, right, there would be a lot of effort on all the systems involved, right? So normally people will avoid, today if you see most of the enterprise applications, I mean, people will have some or the other ESB layer, right? So ESB layer takes care of it. Basically kind of make your different systems loosely coupled, right? I mean, you will have an API. The API will be basically will be provided by the say MuleSoft or integration layer, right? So everyone who needs to call will be calling the same layer, and it would be same API, and all the logic will remain on the MuleSoft. All transformation that you need to do, all logic that you need to have, everything will remain in the middle layer, right? So if anything has to change, it has to change in one place.
Right, got it.
You would have heard APG, and there is also product from Tibco. A lot of products are there for integration, right? So now, since Salesforce has, you would be hearing a lot of different names for it, ESB layer, right? But now, since Salesforce has acquired MuleSoft, and now most of the solution they would be pushing MuleSoft, right? But still, I mean, you will, if client has, and most of the people will say in city, you may say if you're developing something new, right, you may already have some middle layer, right, you may be using say APG or something else, right, so you will continue to use. But wherever Salesforce see an opportunity where people are moving to say from some legacy to transforming their whole entire application, then yeah, they will definitely push MuleSoft, right. So otherwise, I mean, previously they did not have any product in this area, right. They were basically using whatever provided, right. So I have seen people using Jitterbit and FPG Informatica Cloud, right.
Yeah,
So
sure. Thank you.
you got it right. So what Salesforce has to offer as a platform, what Salesforce offers you different clouds, and Salesforce offers you different industry solutions.
Correct. Yes.
Now let's talk about a little bit on financial services cloud, right? So
Mhm.
basically, when we say how it helps, right, it basically helps advisors and bankers, help them have meaningful relationship with their customer, focus on customer need by becoming customer centric, provide their customer with personalized experience and goal-based advice. So basically, if you see, I mean, this is standard thing everyone is doing today, right? You are no more. Most of the people are today focusing on customer centric, right? I mean, you will not be, kind of pushing the product to customer without knowing what customer may need and what's the customer's situation today, right? You would basically want to know what is that customer need today, right? And then you will try to align your product to the customer need, right? That's what the approach today, right, in the market, right? It's
Right.
always aligning your product to customer need, right? So that is where customer 360 or the information that you get about the customer becomes very very critical, right? Knowing everything about customer is very important, right? Like, I mean, what is the financial goal that customer is tracking? Like, say if you have information, say that customer is basically he has a goal of buying a house, right? Buying a house, and he may be targeting a goal say in next 6 months time, right? Then that you have a opportunity for mortgage, right? You may create a referral or opportunity for a mortgage, right? Same
Mhm.
way, I mean, if you're tracking different life event of the customer, right? Today that customer just bought a car, right? That he may require a insurance, auto insurance, right? So basically all the information that you get about customer, right, as part of your customer 360 gives you different opportunities, right? Knowing customers interest, right? What customer could be interested in his personal or professional life, right? What is his investment habits, right? So very much, I mean, you as an advisor or bankers, you would want to have a kind of a consolidated view in a customer 360 where you would want to know everything about customer, right? So I mean, suppose when I start my interaction or when I'm going to interact with customer, I mean, when I look at the customer 360, I would want to know everything. Say, I mean, even if say you're dealing with big personality, and there was some news in the market about that person, right? You don't want to be missing on that. You don't want to be googling that, right? I mean, as part of customer 360, I want to see that if that person was in some limelight or some news in last week, and I'm going for interaction with the customer, that information should pop up on my customer 360, and I should know that this was something about I mean, basically, when you're talking to customer, I mean, he should feel that everything about that customer, right? And the advice that you are giving him is basically in the best interest of him, right? Knowing everything will basically advisor would be able to write product for him, right? So that is where, I mean, the whole idea of customer 360, and that's what the core capability of FSC, right? Everything that we'll see, I mean, will basically focus on giving you basically a view for the bankers and advisor to take the right decision and making it more like a need based selling. And then obviously, I mean, we'll see different productivity tools that it has to offer that basically helps to improve the bankers productivity, right, using the tools. Okay.
Will you also help me in downloading the application? Like there is a
Yeah,
free
yeah,
version available.
I'm going into that. Yeah. So next I will talk about where FSC fits in, right? So if you see, I mean, this is kind of a, how the platform looks like, right? So FSC, as I said, it is basically add-on, right? It always sits on top of sales or service cloud, right? It is basically an extension of sales or service, right? It gives you basically additional data model, additional industry features, right? So if you see in this page, right? What I'm showing that it is basically you have all the applications like sales, service, marketing, community, analytics in the top in the layer. And then above that layer you have financial services cloud. So it will sit basically on top of your sales and service cloud.